Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and today I'm going to talk about the film The Cook from 1918. And this continues my series where I try to review the entire filmography of Buster Keaton, and we're still on the Fatty Arbuckle shorts. There are quite a few of them. The Cook is interesting in that the flow of this film feels very sort of nonsensical and almost like they went, well, we have to string a two-reeler together somehow, and as long as they're laughing, who cares? Which seems to be a particular thing throughout these Fatty Arbuckle or Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle shorts, is almost the gopher brokenness of it, and I think The Cook has that all throughout it, which I actually find sort of refreshing and like. Now, I know that this film was lost until the late 90s. It wasn't really actually all put together again until about 2002. Even then, it feels like there's some stuff that are missing. Suddenly things abruptly happen, cuts are a little awkward, things like that. Maybe they're not. Maybe this is what they put out. Who knows? Because it was lost for about 70 years and no one's completely sure, but from our understanding it's completely found. But it does feel like there's like some minor things missing. Not as lost as A Country Hero, certainly, but it also does have a kind of weird flow going from Fatty Arbuckle in the kitchen as the cook, and then Buster Keaton as a waiter, and them going back and forth doing gags, and then there's a dance, and this woman dance and Buster Keaton dance, and then Fatty Arbuckle dances and puts on all these pots and pans all over himself, kind of in drag but with kitchen utensils, and then he does his dance and does a parody of the 1918 film Salome with doing this hot dog dance, and then Al St. John sort of just shows up out of nowhere and makes this girl dance with him, and then a dog bites him, and then him and the dog are chasing after each other, and then they're eating pasta, and then there's an amusement park scene. So yeah, it's a bit kind of random in what it's doing. I do really like that flow to it. It does have a very gopher brokenness to The Cook, which I wouldn't really recommend this if you're going to get into this Fatty Arbuckle series. I don't think this is the first one to watch, but as watching through all of them, I find this one kind of to be refreshing, and I noticed through these later ones there seems to be a feel of like, well, what could we do now? We've done a lot of stuff, let's do something different, and they're not really relying on a certain genre other than the genre of that Fatty Arbuckle and Buster Keaton are funny, which is not genre, but you know what I mean. I noticed that this one, as well as the Bellboy, kind of rely on this thing of Keaton and Arbuckle together as kind of a duo. That seems to be going on quite frequently. I think Roscoe Arbuckle seemingly seemed to know the potential of Buster Keaton, and Al St. John seems to be minimized quite a bit in this, just kind of being chased by a dog who's actually really good, probably one of the better silent film actor dogs I've seen. I thought he was pretty good. I mean, he climbed up a ladder. I haven't seen a dog ever climb up a ladder. I was rather impressed by that. But there is this feeling of like that it sort of has a reality sense to it for a little bit, this movie, and then after the dog thing happens and he's chasing Al St. John, they cut back to where the restaurant area or something, and it's just like Fatty Arbuckle and Buster Keaton and a bunch of other guys just eating pasta, and seemingly everyone's gone suddenly, and that's when the sense of reality to it kind of just like totally left. It was already kind of like just a funny kind of lark of a thing, and it didn't have as strict a sense of like this needs to go here and so forth, but then it like just really started going off the rails to a certain regard. I don't know if that's Buster Keaton's influence. I don't know if it's Roscoe Arbuckle stopped giving a fuck. I don't know what it is, but it's certainly in there. Now, this film was lost until 1988. Part of it was found in a Norwegian film archive, although on IMDb it says it was found in a Norwegian hospital, but that it closed because the doctor who used to work there felt that laughter was the best medicine. I don't know how they found it, but apparently one part was found in the Norwegian film archives in 1998. The rest of the film basically was found in the Netherlands in 2002 in the Library of Congress. Put it all together, and then it was released on DVD. It is kind of interesting that this film came back, which kind of shows you why I do lost film file videos. Eventually I'll do another one, and also why things can be found still, believe it or not. This one is a lot of fun. I felt like it kind of showed a looseness to it that I think in the early ones you don't get that looseness feel of these Fatty Arbuckle Buster Keaton shorts. I mean, I guess they're really Fatty Arbuckle shorts, but whatever. But in this, you really do get that with it. I don't think it's one that's maybe as memorable, just because it's so sort of all over the place, and the amusement park stuff, which I'm not sure where that was filmed. It sort of looks like Coney Island, but I know they're in California at this point, so I'm not sure what the deal is with that, where that was. But it did sort of, parts of it look like Coney Island, but I don't think it was, because I think they were in California at that point. I think there was like a amusement park near where they were filming. I believe I read that somewhere, I'm not sure. But I liked what they did with that amusement park, but it did feel like a little like we're going from a restaurant to an amusement park. Sometimes they combine sort of two films into one in these two-reelers, but in this one it felt like they're just like, I don't know, we have like 5 minutes left to shoot. What should we do? And then they have some really beautiful cinematography, like Fatty Arbuckle like on the beach with like that long like fishing rod and the dog. I thought with the silhouettes, I thought that was actually rather beautiful. Probably one of the more beautiful shots in all of these shorts. I like the simplicity to it. I thought it was just a rather sublime shot. And Keaton showed a lot of energy and a lot of gusto in this. I felt like him and Arbuckle, when they're kind of playing off of one another and one's doing a gag, the other's doing a gag, so forth, there's such an energy to it that I think at this point you're probably like excited to see Buster Keaton with Fatty Arbuckle if you're watching these and paying attention at that point at least. It's not always on the DVD collections of these shorts. I think it is now. The one I have, it's not. I watched it on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube fairly easily. But if you're just like, man, I would just like a good laugh, I would like to have some fun in this crazy, stupid world we live in, the Cook's really good at that. Like when I read the thing about the, you know, Norwegian doctor, I was like, I don't know, if I was having a bad day, I could put this one on. You know, it's not my favorite or anything. It's not astronomically good or anything like that. But in terms of just a good, fun, enjoyable two-reeler, I would say the Cook like delivers exactly the kind of medicine that you would want, and I think it's really just wonderful at that. And seeing the combo of Keaton and Arbuckle come together as well as it does in this film, I think is really a lot of fun to watch. But really, they're having so much fun, and they're having so much fun like not making sense of this whole thing. Seeing Al St. John just getting chased by a dog forever and all this stuff is just, it just had such a kind of crazier energy that I'm used to from these, a looseness to it, that it just made you feel relaxed because it felt very comfortable, but also felt very different and just fun. And I think this film has just such a fun energy to it, it really can't be denied. So if you have seen The Cook and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments and subscribe if you would like to.